Good morning. All right, guys, before we get started, let's hear from one of our sponsors, Yvette Meyer with Old Republic Home Warranty.
Your clients are most concerned with their $6,000 to $7,000 air conditioning unit in their home when it's triple digit heat here in Arizona. And Old Republic Home Protection has got you covered. On our Platinum plan, if we cannot repair, we replace with no age restriction. Yes, entire air conditioning unit systems. We also cover $1,000 in modification that's always necessary when we replace units. And we have no pound or dollar limit on refrigerant. Most home warranty companies now have a pound or dollar limit on the R22 refrigerant because it's tripled in cost, or they don't cover it at all. And we will cover that with no pound or dollar limit. Remember Old Republic Home Protection on your next contract. We greatly appreciate your business.
Well, good morning. All right, guys, thanks for joining us this Wednesday. You know, energy is the ability to work. We all need energy to do some physical, mental, emotional. We all need that to be successful. You don't have energy, you don't work. And the thing is we all have a finite amount of energy to use. It's not an unlimited resource every day that you get to use it. And that explains why a lot of us, by the end of the day, even before the end of the day, geez, you feel tired, exhausted, fatigued, and really ultimately unproductive. You know, there's some days you're just almost a whole day is unproductive because your energy is depleted right away. And when you run out of energy, you're done. You're done for the day. So we're going to be talking this week on MidWeek MindFreak. We'll be talking about the habits that you may not even realize that are draining your energy and it's keeping you from being successful. And we're also going to talk how to fix it.
Chuck and Angela run multiple million-dollar companies. They are members of Riz Media's Billionaire Club, have coached and mentored thousands of agents, and are international speakers. They say by radically changing your mindset, not only can you change your outlook on life, but affect the actual results you obtain. Welcome to MidWeek MindFreak.
Well, welcome to MidWeek MindFreak. Yep, the battle starts in your mind. That's what we do here. We're here to help you change your mind, because when you change your mind, you change
your life.
Oh, that was
we didn't even practice that.
On point. You know, habits are the key to your success and well-being and happiness in life. So let me say that again. Habits are the key to your success and well-being in life. And our daily habits determine our life. In essence, our life is only as good as our habits. And some of our habits literally drain the hell out of us, and we don't even realize it. These little things can make or break your success, your happiness, and the results you get on a daily basis. And those habits over time really cause us to live a life that may be great or may suck. So we're going to talk about some of these things that are draining your energy, sucking the life out of you, and how to fix it. And sometimes you're not even realizing that's what the cause is. So let's start that off.
So one of the things, I'm going to start with the most obvious thing, and something that most of us have at least some control over. And that the problem is we fail to pay attention to your physical self, including sleep, what you eat, and exercise. So today, what we're talking about is highly focused on your mindset and how you think. So if you truly want to put these things into practice and improve your life, you have to put your body in an improved state. And so certainly in the last couple of years, as a society, we have a heightened awareness of like sickness, right? And how it affects us and how it interferes with well-being. So it's really true. How can you perform better if you feel terrible?
You feel like crap.
Right. It's harder to perform under your best under those conditions. Now, I know that sometimes you have absolutely no control about what's happening physically with you. I get that part. However, let's focus on what we can control. Sleep, what you eat, and exercise. Now, I don't pretend that I'm giving anyone an aha moment right now. Like, this is basic stuff. The question is
unless they've been living under a rock.
right.
No rocks.
No rocks. But the question is what are you going to do about these things that you can control? I used to pride myself when I was younger. I don't need to sleep. And it was true. When I was young, I barely needed any sleep at all. And even into my adulthood, I would pride myself in, until fairly recently, getting up at 4:30 in the morning and feeling energized. And then my body said otherwise, right? Now I could have held on to that prideful, I don't need sleep and I get up super early. But you know what I said instead? I'm going to give myself an extra hour of sleep every night. And I cannot tell you what a difference it made. As soon as my body said, you need more sleep, give it more sleep. I mean, the average person needs at least 7 hours of sleep. I mean, it's a fantastic difference making this little teeny change. That's true of exercise. It doesn't have to be this drastic change, but you can change what you're doing in your sleep patterns, in your exercise, and what you eat. Like, for example, if you eat something and 30 minutes later, you feel like you could fall right asleep, something's wrong with what you're eating, right? And so we can't hold on to what used to be okay for us or what used to be right for us. Make the small changes on the things that you can control, because if you feel better, then you can look beyond the way you're feeling and start to focus on these other things that we're going to talk about today.
That's a good start here. The next one is trying hard to please others. Well, what do we call that?
People pleasing. It's horrible.
And it is super draining, constantly trying to prove yourself to other people. Super draining. Talk about suck the life out of you.
Talk about impossible.
Yeah, well, yeah. When you seek to be in people's good graces and try to make them happy, you'll inevitably make yourself unhappy. And needless to say, it's impossible.
It is impossible. You can say the most positive thing. It's the most positive thing can come out of your mouth and somebody's going to criticize it.
And think about it. It's because all of your actions, all of your energy are driven by the need to meet someone else's expectations and desires. God, I like when you really think about that, because I want you to process that if that's you, and there's a lot of people that are people pleasers. We all fall into that every now and then. You know why? We all want to be liked and loved. But really think about what I just said here. Process that. You're trying to meet, what do you do?
Somebody said they can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
You have to move your mic up. Get
Can't
closer.
hear me.
Maybe because you're not talking into the front of it, not the top of it, the front of it.
Like that.
Is that better?
Anyway, so when you really try to meet their desires and expectations, it's actually kind of a crazy thought that you're going your life to please others. It's amazing. And people will bitch to you about everything. They'll always be bitching about something, and your job is not to satisfy all of their whims. And quite honestly, it's like the same people that bitch. When you meet that need, they'll just find something else to bitch about.
That's right, because it's a habit of bitching.
It's a dangerous path that you'll go down, and it will always drain your energy, and you're going to neglect your own needs because you're constantly going to be focused on other people. Recognize the relationships that are give and take, that you realize it doesn't, sometimes taking care of somebody or helping somebody out is not a bad thing, but there's also going to be a give and take. Establish clear boundaries and then communicate those limits. That's what you want to do with people. For many years when we owned our own brokerage, we felt like the reason why we were getting the life sucked out of us is we were trying to please every person's whims. And the reason why we were doing that is we were coming from a scarcity mindset, afraid of losing business, afraid of an agent leaving us. And that was draining. And we've gotten to a point, look, like I said, we know our value, we know how we help people. But look, if somebody doesn't like what we're doing, there's the door, man. I clear boundaries. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with this one is no is a full sentence.
I love that.
And you know, boy, you get caught up with, there are people that just want your time, want your time, want your time. Don't tell you what they want it for, and we'll ask. Tell us what it's going to be about so we can determine if it's worth our time.
That's right. I love that. Look what Anne-Marie said.
Love Anne-Marie.
She said, what other people think of me is none of my business. That's awesome.
We love you, Anne-Marie, so I hope that becomes your business.
That's awesome. So the next one which is a mistake, is worrying and overthinking. And, you know, there's a proverb in the Bible that says, as a man thinks, so he is. Worrying and overthinking are absolutely unfruitful. Rolling something over and over and over in your head in a negative way will accomplish nothing.
It'll accomplish something. It'll drive you freaking crazy.
I mean, we all get to choose our thoughts, or at least hold them captive. You can choose to worry, or you can choose to be grateful or hopeful. You can overthink something, or you can take massive action. It's actually a matter of a couple of things. First, it's recognizing what you're thinking about. If you don't start to create the habit of actually recognizing what you're thinking about, that awareness, you'll lose the battle. So first, it's awareness. And the second thing is acknowledging those things you can control and those things you can't control, right? You're in control of some things and most things you're not. So once you're aware of your thoughts and what you can and cannot control, you can make different choices in your thinking. So when you find yourself worrying, you can stop and you can replace it with gratitude or hopeful thinking. So that sounds simple, but it's difficult. That's a lifelong endeavor to hold captive the thoughts that fall into your head and decide to change them into what you want them to come out with in your head.
Now, next one is letting go of your anger and resentment. You know, poison isn't always something you eat or drink. It can be an emotion. And I will tell you, anger and resentment are among the two most poisonous emotions you could have. They are so intense, highly emotional things that you physically can get sick from them. And they talk about and a lot of it causes stress, which causes cancer. So there's a direct correlation behind these type of emotion. And when you're holding on to these grudges about who offended you and who hurt you and who did you wrong, God, you're just destroying yourself, man. You need to move forward. Let go of the past.
This one's hard, though. This one's super hard.
We are such prideful and egotistical people that we go, no, nobody's going to do us wrong. But I will tell you, it's something that I truly work on. Because I know how toxic it is. And you need to be mindfulness and aware of what makes you angry. You know, sometimes it's being mindless and being reactional. Like if you're one of those people like me that just immediately reacts, here's what I do. I stop, because I know I tend to do that. I stop and I process, what am I reacting to? And is my anger going to do anything anyway? Now I do want you to understand, you need to forgive. But let me tell you what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person who has harmed you. Releasing that. Think about that. Releasing it. But regardless of whether they actually deserve it or forgive you back.
That's right.
Which is probably the hardest thing, because then you fall back into, well, if I'm going to ask for that forgiveness, I want them to accept.
Or whatever you think that they should be doing in reaction to your forgiveness, that it's not conditional upon another person. Forgiveness is a personal choice and decision.
And just as important it is to define what forgiveness is, it's also understanding what forgiveness is not. And,
just read that this morning.
And let's be clear here, guys. When you forgive someone, you're not glossing over or denying what they did to you. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean condoning or excusing them. So that's I think what we get caught up. We feel like if we forgive them, that
we're saying it's okay.
We're saying it's okay, and feeling like they just got the upper hand. And it doesn't obligate you to reconcile with the other person who harmed you. That is some key factors, guys. I want you to understand, because what I do want you to do is forgive, and what forgiveness is for you. It's your heart condition. Doesn't matter. You don't control. It goes back to that people-pleasing thing. And that's why our Lord always tells us to forgive, because he knows what's best for us.
That's why he even goes a step further and says, vengeance is mine.
You know, and here's the cool time. Sometimes forgiveness, that not only does it bring you a peace of mind, and it frees you from that corrosive anger, but I will tell you what blows me away is sometimes it reconciles relationships. And I just recently experienced this with one of my past agents who I was angry at them both for 2 years, 2 years. And God put it on my heart to reach out and reconcile. And it's been nothing but a great thing to do. So guys, the root is pride and ego. Let it go and stop forgiving people.
Yeah. And if you struggle with this, I'm reading a book right now, which I think is crazy, because if you guys have been listening to us for a long time, Chuck and I do not compare notes before we get up and talk, right? And what he was just talking about is outlined beautifully in this book called Total Forgiveness, that I'm in the middle of reading. Exactly what he just went over, I just happened to end up reading this morning. Fantastic. And so the last one I want to talk about, so we've talked about like your physical self and like controlling your thoughts and all of these things. This last one is the best thing you can do for yourself to give yourself the best chance. And it kind of wraps the other side of this up with a bow. We started with the physical thing and what you control physically. Oh, I made a hand signal.
You did a hand signal.
Yeah, that was fancy.
Let's get you back on track here.
So anyway, if you're listening, you have no idea. It's fine. But you have to control, just like you control your exercise, your sleep, and what you eat. I know. I don't know what to do. There you go. I have no idea. So you can also control what's getting fed into your mind, right? So control what you allow to enter your mind. So here's what's really interesting. I know I'm aware enough of myself that I know I can't watch a couple of things. I cannot watch horror flicks. Absolutely not. Because it's not that I'm afraid or, it's just those things stick in my mind. And another thing is, yay. The other thing is that I cannot, there's certain stories on the news. If I see certain kinds of stories pop up on the news, I know I need to go into another room, look away, turn it off, because I know what my brain does with certain pieces of information. You guys need to identify what's clogging your brain. That could be overuse of social media. It could be something way worse, but it matters what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're talking about. All of those things are feeding your mind, and what you're feeding your mind will end up regurgitating out in your actions, your thought processes, everything, even your physical self. So just like at the beginning, again, that I talked about the control of the physical body, you also have to control what you're feeding your mind. And that wraps it up with a nice bow, don't you think?
No, because I'm going to add one more.
Oh, let's add it.
Travis, thank you for the kind words.
You got to say it. Awesome to hear these amazing people giving biblical guidance. Yeah. Thank you, Travis.
Like I said, you don't have to believe in the Bible, but you sure should.
Sure is helpful.
It is written by God, and words of wisdom constantly, and tells you how to live better. But I'm going to give you a bonus.
Woo! Did you just do like an auction?
Today for you guys. Ready? Last one that's draining your energy, guys. Be aware of this: is being in a negative environment.
Oh, people.
A negative environment can result into significant energy drain and just leave your days going, God, this just sucked. What am I doing? There are plenty of reasons why someone can be negative. But I'm going to tell you, being in an environment full of negative energy will suck the life out of you. If your workplace doesn't stimulate you, if the people that are around you hold you back from flourishing, or any of the relationships you're in wear you down, regardless of the reason, you need to get out of them. Step out. Stop making excuses while you're in these type of relationships or you're at these companies that you're at. If you're not getting where you need to be, it is sucking the life out of you and you need to move. Now, here's what I don't want you to do. Don't go, hey, I was just listening to this podcast today and this couple said that we need to get a divorce.
Nope, we are not saying that.
I am not condoning
No.
divorce, but here's what I am condoning. Start communicating with your spouse or significant other. Communicate. If it's a negative environment, work on it. You made a commitment to each other. But if you're at a company, or we're in real estate or in a brokerage, that you, and I hear this all the time, it just blows me away. Oh, you're our office, that we don't get nothing out of it. There's nobody around. There's no motivation. There's no nothing. What the hell are you still doing there? It literally is affecting your business.
Even if it's not really hurting you, if it's not absolutely helping you, that's a problem.
Yeah, guys, energy is a precious substance. Look, we love what we do. Hey, guys, you know we're in real estate. What
I
is
have
this?
an announcement.
You can't make an announcement.
I have one.
You're done.
No, I have an
Okay,
announcement.
good.
If you're looking for a great environment, there's one coming up at the end of April 20th through the 22nd. Women, ladies, you guys can come too. We're having our next Flourish event in Chandler, Arizona. It's 2 days and a dinner full of encouragement, of learning, of motivation, of real estate help. Flourish in Chandler, Arizona. If you want to check it out, go to theflourishevent.com. That's theflourishevent.com.
Guys, thank you for all your comments. But like I said, if you're in real estate, you know what we do. We build an international real estate team. We love motivating. We love making people successful. We ultimately love changing people's lives and glorifying the Lord. Guys, reach out to us if you want to be around us more. Check us out on Facebook at the Iconic Power Couple. And we are excited always to be a blessing to you guys. Guys, have a great day and God bless you.